Welcome, Sagittarius. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, and I pulled for you the moon card for this new moon in Aries on the 29th of this month. This is an unusual new moon given a number of astrological placements, still a number of planets in Aries, Venus and Mercury retrograding from Aries into Pisces. So there's a kind of between worlds energy that we're experiencing. And with the moon card here as an overall theme, you are tapping into collective energies. This is absolutely about not only the waters, but how emotions and collective urges, desires, energies are flowing into your life in a way that informs your life, in a way that's clarifying, that's allowing you to pull back from the fiery transformation that we are experiencing to a place where we are allowing ourselves to simply process this deep learning, this release and surrender that we are experiencing, and how to make space and gather the courage to move on to the unfamiliar paths that are being shown to us. This is about not judging your own experience, your own inner wisdom, your own emotional experience, so that you are no longer labeling your experiences in a negative tone. You're rewriting a story here. You're actually finding the information about this new story, the new possibilities available to you in your unconscious, in your subconscious mind. So this is where your meditations, your prayers, your dreams are really being activated and can lead you into experiences, knowledge that is often unconsciously motivating your conscious actions. And you're looking to become more informed, to allow that energy to become more available to you in your life, in this process of understanding what you've released and what you're making way for. This is a general reading, Sagittarius, so it may not resonate for all of you. If you're interested in a personal reading, information for that is in the description box below. I welcome all of you. I appreciate all the time that you take with me. And so in your present, I pulled from the Crystal Oracle, the Peach Moonstone, and this is describing your sacral chakra. So this is really about your pleasure, your joy, the way you experience the world sensually through your five senses. And the key word here is fertility. Let your life burst forth from the seeds of creation. I like that. This is really emphasizing an aspect of your life that I feel you feel has been stuck. This is a place where you have your customary outlets of expression available to you, but you don't feel inspired. You don't feel like it's coming together. You're sort of going back to the way you used to do things and finding that completely unsatisfying, but you sense a possibility that you can't touch or name right now. And this is being clarified by the Six of Pentacles, which I particularly like because I'm believing that this is bringing you into the present moment with the skills, the conversation, the dialogue, the desire to balance out your energy exchanges. That's about love, money, of course, but it's also about all the ways that we enter into agreements with others. And that can be agreements with ourselves. And again, the idea that you're neutralizing your perspective as a way of not judging yourself is very important, and it's key. And I do believe this is giving you back a sense of empowerment in your everyday experience, in your routines, in your habits, so that you are understanding it's the way that you behave in your social settings, in your relationships, at your work, in your community uh, that is describing the way that you're stepping into these agreements, these social contracts as a collective member, as one of others, as a peer, as a collaborator. And this is what is ironically empowering you and helping you to break free, to move into those expressive outlets and activities in a way that is empowering, in a way that's showing you, giving you new information, not only about the world and your relationships, others, but about yourself. You're now able to exercise the tools to seek fairness and justice in a way that has been really laden, almost painful for you in the past. I'm hearing that you used to tell yourself a story that you never got fair treatment. You were never treated equally. You always got the short end of the stick. And that's interesting to imagine that Sagittarians, so known for their positivity, glass half full approach, their optimism in the world, to having this inner sense of being wounded, being disabled, being crippled by the inaction of others. So I am going to go into the past, where I pulled a talisman oracle, and I pulled the card which is Banish a Curse. And this actually is helping me to understand your present mindset, this unconscious sense of having been wronged, having been cheated, not being treated fairly. And I will read a little bit of that from the handbook. And Banish a Curse. This card can symbolize unfair treatment towards you. A person who has a strong influence in your life has mistreated you or fails to see your point of view. The actions of others speak for their misalignment, not yours. And you have the power to choose how that impacts you. Your worth does not change based on others' fears or opinions. The pain or misunderstandings can be minimized if you decide not to internalize the negativity. Dwelling over what has been said means reliving hurtful emotions and letting it control your actions. It's time to take a step back and allow the new sense of self to embrace you. Think of what you can learn from this experience and know that karma has your back. Focus on the wheel in the center of the card. It represents the power of transformation. The swords have locked it in place and the wheel cannot move. Envision pulling out each blade and turning the wheel clockwise. The 4 snakes are untangling their bodies and are set free. The wheel is now moving, and the blossom in the center can draw the nourishing energy it needs. The curse is lifted. I am honest with myself and worthy. So I love this beautiful energy that has been clarified by the 2 of Swords. I think this is, again, referring to the old story and the new story. The story you tell yourself, have told yourself, because despite the instructions of the handbook, I think this sense of being mistreated is a little broader than an individual relationship. For some of you, it may be a particular relationship you've been focusing on that has been coming up for you in dreams, and the frustration in not being able to release that. The frustration in having the story or similar stories come up, be triggered over and over again. Not perhaps being able to find a healthy way to separate from a relationship that is enacted or performed in this way, but also not looking at what you have displaced that story with, what you're working on in terms of your own sense of truth and justice, and where that arrives is from within you. So it's interesting that the past is something that you see again as wounding you, hurting you, uh, uh, frustrating you, blocking you from your blessings. And you are aware that you're at a place where this curse can be broken, not by identifying simply the painful behavior that you have suffered from, but by developing an alternate sense of your own ability, your own truth, and really releasing the need to be impacted by what others say or think. Silence can be a powerful weapon to be used in situations where you are privy to the unkind words, the dismissal, the denigrations, the not taking you seriously, being laughed at, whatever the behavior is. And for many of us, this is about family members, people that have been in our lives for a long time and that we have a hard time recognizing the overall and long-term damage that this casual unkindness, it seems casual, uh, impacts us, how it wounds us, how it cripples us from being able to move forward. So I think you're looking at this and you're really understanding that the power lies with you. It is in the new story that you are evolving into, the new sense of self that is what displaces this emotional baggage, where there's no real space or time to churn over unhappy experiences with someone in the past. In the future, I pulled a wild elemental card for you, and I pulled for you, Sagittarius, the frog. And I wouldn't be surprised if I pulled this card for you before. Anyway, at this rate, let me start this off by talking about the fact that it is indeed a water element. So it's interesting to me that the idea of the fires of transformation, which is a phrase that came to me in meditation initially with this new moon in Aries energy, is quickly being replaced in the experience of a variety of you, particularly you fire signs, about water, about our unconscious, about consciousness at every level. But the uh, unconsciousness is the holder of the mysteries, the things we don't know or don't understand, the things we're afraid of in the deep. And so the frog's attributes are the singer of songs. It's transformation, cleansing, understanding emotions, and rebirth. When frog hops into your life, you're being nudged to actively look for opportunities for transitions. You may be facing some of life's tough challenges, and frog messages and lessons will help you swim through these changes with grace and ease. The awakening that accompanies these changes will bring greater abundance into your life. Alternatively, frog medicine is also symbolic of coming into your power. This is done by purifying the soul, releasing emotional baggage, and coming from a place of personal integrity. Frog is telling you to make all your decisions based on what is best for you. I think that's pretty clear. And this has been clarified by the Hermit card. This is really an ability you have, Sagittarius, to be the sage. This is one of your personas: the teacher, the sage, the monk, the hermit. Even though this card is often associated with Virgo, it clearly is related to you, certainly by mutability, if nothing else. You are able to isolate yourself from others in whatever way necessary. It is quite often in your books, in your tools, in your spiritual meditation, but it is a way that you reestablish your authority to be who you are and on the path that you're on. There is an awareness that you are different from others. You may feel different from family members, the very family members that have impacted you with the sense that you're not serious, you're offbeat, you're not really hardworking, you're not really that smart, whatever it is that circulates, or, because you're single or because you're married, you're not really a serious person and really can't accomplish anything important or tangible. Whatever the stories are, you are using this tactic at this time to keep yourself safe, to stay out of the fray, and to really allow experiences in life to flow through your life. Your awareness is to flow through you, to not judge experiences or people or relationships in any way except to feel clear about your rightness in being where you are right now. You are in the final stages of clearing away, cleansing, detoxifying your life of this old baggage. And that is to the end of clearing the path for this new beginning, this new life. You are a harbinger of new possibilities in this world, in our world. And that is incredibly powerful and really accentuates some of the qualities of healing, immortality. Through your wisdom, through your knowledge, you are bringing to life, reliving, or living within the experiences of others. And that is a form of reincarnation, of the wheel, the regeneration of life force. So this is important to you. I think it's also important to be aware that Mars is opposing Pluto for Aries season. And if you look back to November of last year when Pluto moved into Aquarius, you will begin to get a clue as to or a taste of the new possibilities that have never been seen before, that we could not even imagine in our lifetime being available to us. So I think this is important because there's a way in which you are not trying to just keep the fire hot, keep the creativity ablaze, keep your inspiration on 80. You're really looking at allowing the fires of this transformation, allowing the death or the surrender to be the concern, really understanding what you're letting go and why, and walking through the ashes. So you're really experiencing the release, the death throes, rather than focusing on the new, because it's important to you to get this right. And in order to move into this new possibility renewed, it is important to you to release the old world, the old life, the old way. I am going to finish up this reading with, well, I've been clarifying this card, but I don't think I need to at this point. I will finish up with a Soul's Journey Oracle card, and I pull balance. I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. Thank you so much, Sagittarius. If you've enjoyed this content, check this out, and until next time, namaste.